Hi, I'm Sean Brickell, the author of Don't Shoot, I'm Not Well, Confidence or When You Really Need It, who helps CEOs and their staff at organisations around the world with their confidence and communication skills. I'm here to help you with your life questions. So many of us can become anxious. There are ways of dealing with it. The first is to acknowledge it. If you try and ignore the fact you're anxious and pretend it's not there, you will become anxious about that and it will intensify your anxiety because you haven't addressed the problem. But anxiety can come as quickly as it goes. Now the Buddhists wouldn't say, I'm anxious. They'd say something along the lines of, I am with anxiety, almost suggesting it's by their side. So as quickly as it's come, it can go. Anxiety can be very temporary and you're not always going to be anxious, but then you need to look at why you do feel anxious. Whatever the scenario, whether it be emotional, social, professional, financial, and look at practical steps to help deal with it. Look at your fears. And actually, one thing you can do, one exercise you can do, is to try and make yourself as anxious as possible at that moment and see what happens. It's actually very hard to maintain, but it gives you perspective. And sometimes you look at it and think, why am I feeling so anxious? I put all that energy into it, rather than putting energy into feeling positive and less anxious. Because when you're feeling anxious, you're not using up energy, mental and physical energy, to focus on what you need to overcome, the challenge that you need to overcome. What you should do is an audit of all your strengths and successes. List them down. This is a long-term project as well as a short and medium-term project. Make a list on one column, the left-hand column, of all your strengths. It could be the fact you have a great bottom. It could be the fact that you're very funny or very beautiful or very popular or very perceptive. And then on the other column, the right-hand column of a page, write down all your successes. It could be the fact you won a swimming prize at school. You're voted Employer of the Month. It could be a whole variety of things, whether small or significant. And it will prove to you what strengths you have and why you have an increasingly smaller, more insignificant cause to feel anxious about things. Talk to people who you find inspiring and moving and reassuring. Read, watch, and listen to things that are moving and inspirational. And know that we all have anxiety at times about different things that appear to frighten us. But actually, when you get through to the other side, you realize actually have no real cause to cause you anxiety. Because when you get to the other side and you overcome the fear or the cause of your anxiety, you'll realize actually there was no reason to worry at all. And that in turn will give you strength, which will reinforce itself the more you overcome these challenges and fears.